Hey guys, what's going on? It is David here. We're back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, I just wanted to get into a quick discussion, or not even a quick discussion, just to talk about the Atlanta Falcons, to be honest, because my most previous video, I talked about the Atlanta Falcons releasing Grady Jarrett, and I can't even lie to you guys. Like, when I see what everything the Falcons have done and the free agent signings that we made, some of them I'm like, are these really like big names? The biggest name that we probably brought in free agency is Leonard Floyd, but Leonard Floyd had a good year with the 49ers last year, and now we're just hoping that he's going to be able to bank off of last year. I mean, we still have offensive guys like Kyle Pitts. I'm hoping he does well going to his final year of his contract. There's a possibility rumor of the Atlanta Falcons trading him, but to be honest, I would give him a chance to do what if he doesn't perform well with Michael Penix Jr., then you can trade him. But at this point, I give him some time because you got to remember that Kyle Pitts has had a new quarterback basically every single season that he has played with the Atlanta Falcons, and his best season has been with Matt Ryan in his first season. Since then, he's had guys like Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, Kirk Cousins, and even now Michael Penix Jr. So I would give him some time. I'll at least give him this year to see how he does with Michael Penix Jr. But I look at the other pieces on the offense. Quarterback Michael Penix Jr. just talked about, so he looks like he could be the potential for future. Even though he's 27, 28 now, he's not really going to have as much time as a rookie quarterback before, like he's going to be in his 30s and we're already going to be looking for the future. So I don't really know when it comes to that. And then I look at Bijan Robinson, he's going to be a star for the future. Drake London, he's going to be a star for the future. Tyler Algier is going to be one of the best number two options. Like if I had to compare the Atlanta Falcons running back room that we could possibly even have, I compare it to Detroit, where instead of Bijan Robinson is kind of like the Jahmyr Gibbs type of thing, and Tyler Algier is more of a David Montgomery. So if the Falcons really want to adopt a style of something having like Detroit's running back system, I can definitely get around to that and agree with that in ever since the general. Then I look at the offensive line. We just lost our center. We have Jake Matthews coming back. We still have Chris Lindstrom there. We still have Caleb McGarry, who I feel like got paid based off of one season, and he's still not a very good right tackle. But we need to go into the draft now and replace that center that we lost to the Chicago Bears. Or I forgot where he went to. I'm not really sure where he went to. And then obviously the left guard position is going to be interesting because I really don't know who's at the position right now. But then the one side I look at when it comes to Atlanta Falcons the most, and this is the one side I've been complaining about when it comes to Atlanta Falcons the most, is the defensive side. Obviously, yes, in the safety and cornerback positions, we got Jesse Bates there. He's going to be there for at least another 2-3 years. AJ Terrell, we just paid. AJ Terrell really is going to be a number one option. We signed a couple of cornerbacks to be, I would guess, the backup options for AJ Terrell, but we don't have an out and out secondary cornerback like a very good number two cornerback. So that's possibly something I could look into when it comes to the draft. We need another safety because Richie Grant is not really all that, and Jesse Simmons. I'm not even sure what's going on with Jesse Simmons. Has Jesse Simmons signed for anywhere? Because last I saw, he signed a 1 year deal with the Atlanta Falcons, if I remember right, or we traded for him. And then I don't believe if we re-signed him or not. So I'm not really sure when it comes to that. But then I look at the biggest problem on the Atlanta Falcons. That's the defensive line. Losing someone like Grady Jarrett is going to be major because Grady Jarrett, no matter how hot or cold he used to play, he was always the leader of that defensive line. And considering now that Leonard Floyd is going to be a pass rusher, we have Arnold Ebiketie, who is supposed to be developing into a very good pass rusher. We had the pass rusher that we got in, what was it, the second or third round last year, that 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 got injured before the season. We have Ruka Roro, who was learning under a year of Grady Jarrett. That's the reason why I said we should have signed Grady. We should have kept Grady Jarrett for at least 2 years because Grady Jarrett could help mentor like somebody like that into a very good DT that can get after the quarterback and stop the run. But that's the one thing I gotta look at when it comes to the Falcons is just stopping the run. So, going after the quarterback. If we can go from one of the top 10 worst teams into rushing the quarterback into one of the I'll take top 15 best pass rushing teams. I will take that because that's going to be a major improvement. For the last 3 years, the one thing that everybody has talked about when it comes to the Falcons is that the Falcons cannot rush the quarterback. Towards the end of last season, the Falcons started looking better at rushing the quarterback, but still needs a major improvement, which is why over the past 3 years, my personal self, I've been looking at the draft and I said, hey, look at all the good defense options that we have that we can go get in the draft. And the past 2 years, the Atlanta Falcons wasted I'm not gonna say. All right, last year the Michael Penix one was definitely a waste. Michael Penix Jr. we could have traded back up into in the second round and got him. We did not need to select him at number 8. Jared Verse was right there, and look how well Jared Verse performed for the Los Angeles Rams. Somebody like that could have changed our whole pass rushing system, and we could have been a very good team, like building for the future in terms of like the defensive line. But no, we went Michael Penix Jr. If we look at the past 4 drafts, the Atlanta Falcons have gone offense each and every one of them. 2021, I believe, was Kyle Pitts. 2022, Drake London. 2023, Bijan Robinson. 2024, Michael Penix Jr. A tight end, a wide receiver, a running back, and a quarterback. We have literally gotten every single piece of an offensive weapon system. Do the Falcons right, Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris. Draft a freaking pass rusher this year. Please. If I'm watching the draft in about a month's time and I see the Falcons come up, whatever pick they have, and I see an offensive if I dare to see an offensive lineman over a defensive lineman, I don't care if he's a DT or if he's a pass rusher or he's outside linebacker. As long as they can get to the quarterback, if it's a guy that I know that can get to rushing the quarterback and he's very, very well, as long as it's a pass rusher. Forget DT. I know I just said DT. Forget I said DT. As long as it's a pass rusher, I will take it. And I'm going to be doing my Falcons review over the draft. And I'm going to be live watching the draft. So when that pick comes up and I hear the Falcons are on the clock and I hear the Falcons pick is in and the name comes out, if it's anywhere near the freaking offense, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be legit pissed. Because what on this team do we need? What offensive position do we need at this point right now? We have a tight end, Kyle Pitts, who's still young. We have a wide receiver in Drake London. We have a number 2 wide receiver, Darnell Mooney. We have a number 3 receiver already there, Ray McLeod. We have a running back in Bijan Robinson. We have a backup running back in Tyler Algier. And then we have a quarterback in Michael Penix Jr. What on the offense do we need? The first round pick for Atlanta Falcons needs to be one of 3 positions. It needs to be a pass rusher to go out there and get a quarterback. I know Leonard Floyd, like I said, I know we just signed Leonard Floyd. Still go get a pass rusher. An edge player, a cornerback, or a safety. One of those 3 positions. If it's not any of those, I'm going to say the Falcons wasted the first round pick again. And I'm going to continue calling on this until it happens. The Falcons would have been a very good amount of big spenders in the free agency this year. And a lot of names that you saw went to other teams, the Atlanta Falcons could have gone and get. But you know what's the one reason why we cannot get? And I will keep saying this, and I will keep standing by this. Why would we pay Kirk Cousins that sum of money coming off Achilles surgery? We had Justin Fields. I was advocating the season before free agency for Falcons to go sign Justin Fields. And he led the Steelers. He beat us in the first game of last season and led the Steelers to a 4-2 record. Kirk Cousins was performing very well. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's performing very well. But you saw the downcline. And now Michael Penix Jr. is right there. And we wasted basically $140 million that we could have gone into this free agency and built up the defense to the point where I didn't have to be saying that we need to go get the defensive lineman. And I'm going to give Raheem Morris the benefit of the doubt. Raheem Morris has made some very big mistakes when it comes to this year. Not calling a timeout in one of those games towards the end of the season. The way he just coaches his team is just weird. The defense is good. The offense just needs to get better in terms of we can put up points. We just need to stop the defense. And that really comes down to pressuring the quarterback, because if the quarterback has time to throw the ball, they're going to score points. And if it's going to be a shootout, I don't trust my team to win a shootout. There's rarely times, literally the first game against Tampa Bay, if it wasn't for that stupid overtime rule, the Buccaneers would have won that game. Buccaneers would have came back, and I believe the Buccaneers would have won that game. So thank the overtime rule for that Falcons win. There's a lot of Falcons wins out there that got saved. And I'm not even going to talk about Younghoe Koo. Younghoe Koo is perfectly fine. I trust in Younghoe Koo. I believe him. He had a downturn. He was injured. So I believe he'll come back and be better next season. But in all honesty, do I really trust this Falcons team to go out there and make the playoffs? I mean, if I'm looking at the division, Carolina just got a lot better. New Orleans is probably going to be the worst team in this division, but New Orleans will probably still surprise one and pick up a couple wins. And Tampa Bay is going nowhere. They just re-signed Chris Godwin. They still got Mike Evans there. Baker Mayfield's still there. Yes, they lost their offensive coordinator, but it's still basically going to be the same team. So Tampa Bay is going to be right there. At this moment right now, if I'm looking at the well put around the team, I'm going to say this right now. There's a possibility the Falcons finish third place in this division. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to be honest. Would I be surprised if Falcons finish third place? No. Why? Because I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. Like, I went into the Falcons predictions last season and I predict them to go 9-8 because I saw the team as right there and I didn't really think that anything was going to change. A lot of people were like, "We're going to make the playoffs. You know, the Falcons are going to make the playoffs. We signed Kirk Cousins. He's going to help us make to the playoffs." And look what happened. The Falcons finished 9-8. Self-explanatory. So when it comes to the 2025 seasons, I'm really not that excited for Atlanta Falcons. Like, the only thing that probably get me excited is if we go into the draft and pick up a pass rusher, and like our first three picks or two out of the first three picks are just defensive people, like quite literally, because that's the one spot we need to build up on. If the second pick is offensive guard, that's good center to replace the one that we just lost in free agency. But all in all, the Atlanta Falcons just need to do a lot better. And if I swear to you on this earth, if it's a wide receiver, tight end, or a running back or a quarterback, I'm gonna lose my mind. But Terry Fonant, Raheem Morris, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. We'll see what you do next season, but at this moment right now, I'm just not very excited for the Atlanta Falcons 2025 season.